Considering, are you ready for this? That's right. It's Doki Doki Literature Club. That's it. I'm getting my popcorn. Hold on. Okay. They are cute. They're all beautiful. What do you say? You ready to get this started? Is this a horror game? You'll find out. It's got some pretty dark stuff in it. From what I remember, it's not all cutesy and pretty and cuddle bunnies and panda bears. It definitely has some heavy topical tones to it. I'm ready and excited. I'm glad you're excited. And this is going to go on YouTube as well. Start new game. You want me to read the text or no? I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious to any attention she might draw to herself. Riti? Yes, please. Okay. That girl is Sayori, my next door neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know, the kind of friend you never see yourself making today, but it just kind of works out because you've known each other for so long. We used to walk to school together on days like this, but starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently, and I would get tired of waiting up. But if she's going to chase after me like this, I almost feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let Sayori catch up to me. Aha ha! I overslept again, but I caught you this time. Maybe, but only because I decided to stop and wait for you. You say it like you were thinking about ignoring me. That's mean, Trey. Well, if people stare at you for acting weird, then I don't want them to think we're a couple or something. Fine. But you did wait for me after all. I guess you don't have to have it in you to be mean if you wanted to. Whatever you say, Sayori. We cross the street together and make our way to school. As we draw near, the streets become increasingly speckled with other students making their daily commute. By the way, Trey, yes? Have you decided on what club to join yet? A club? I told you already, I'm really not interested in joining any clubs. I haven't been looking either. That's not true. You told me you would join a club this year. Did I? I'm sure it's possible that I did, in one of our many conversations where I dismissively go along with whatever she's saying and going on about. Taylor likes to worry a little too much about me when I'm perfectly content just getting by on the average while spending my free time on games and anime. I was talking about how I worried that you won't learn how to socialize and have any skills before college. Your happiness is really important to me, you know. And I know you're happy now, but I die at the thought of you becoming a NEET in a few years because you're not used to the real world. You trust me, right? Don't make me keep worrying about you. Alright. I'll look at a few clubs if it makes you happy. No promises, though. We at least promise to try a little? Yeah, I guess I'll promise you that. Yay! Why do I let myself get lectured by such a carefree girl? More than that, I'm surprised I even let myself relent to her. I guess seeing her worry so much about me makes me want to ease her mind at least a little bit, if she does exaggerate everything inside of her head. School day is as ordinary as ever, and it's over before I know it. After I pack up my things and stare blankly at the wall, looking for an ounce of motivation. Clubs. Sayori wants me to check out some clubs. I guess I had no choice but to go start with the anime club. Hello? Sayori? Sayori must have come into the classroom while I was spacing out. I look around and realize I'm the only one left in the classroom. I thought I'd catch you coming out of the classroom, but I saw that you were just sitting there and spacing out, so I came in. Honestly, you're even worse than me sometimes. I'm impressed. You need to wait up for me if it's going to make you late to your own club. Well, I thought you might need some encouragement, so I thought, Know what? Well, that you could come into my club. Sayori. Yeah? There's no way I'm going to your club. Meanie. Sayori is vice president of the literature club. Now that I was aware that she had interest in literature, in fact, I'm 99% sure that she did it because she thought it would be fun for me to stare at her new club. Since she was the first one to show interest after one who proposed the club, she's interested in the title of vice president. That said, my interest in the literature club is guaranteed to be even less. Yeah, I'm going to the anime club. Come on, please. Oh, wait, why do you care so much? Well, I kinda told the club yesterday I would bring in a new member, and Natsuki made cupcakes and everything. Don't make promises you can't keep. I can't tell if Sayori is really that much of an airhead or if she's just cunning as to have planned this all out. I let a long sigh. Fine, I'll stop by for a cupcake, okay? Yay! Yes, let's go! This game is so me. Yeah, I picked it just for you. And thus, today marks the day I sold my soul for a cupcake. I dejectedly follow Sayori across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit. Sayori, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. Everyone, the new member is here. I told you, don't call me a new member. I glance around the room. Welcome to the literature club. It's a pleasure meeting you. Sayori always says nice things about you. Seriously? You brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Ah, Trey. What a nice surprise. Welcome to the club. All words escape me in this situation. This club. It's full of incredibly cute girls. What are you looking at? If you want to say something, say it. Sorry. Natsuki? The girl with the sour attitude, whose name is apparently Natsuki, is the one I don't recognize. Her small figure makes her look like a first-year student. She is also the one who made the cupcakes according to Sayori. You could just ignore her when she gets moody. Sayori says that quietly into my ear, and then turns back to the other girls. Anyway, this is Natsuki, always full of energy. And this is Yuri, the smartest in the club. Don't say things like that. Yuri appears comparatively more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with people like Sayori and Natsuki. Well, it's nice to meet both of you. And it sounds like you already know Monica. Is that right? That's right. It's great to see you again, Trey. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic, basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuinely feels a little You know, you too, Monica. Come sit down, Trey. We made room for you at the table. You can sit next to me or Monica. I'll get the cupcakes. Hey, I made them. I'll get them. Sorry, I guess I got a little too excited. Then, how about I make us some tea as well? Man, this is a lot of talking. Sorry about the notifications, don't mind those. The girls have a few desks arranged to form a table. Excuse me. Let me take a drink. I'm doing a lot of talking. I'm used to talking this much in my streams. As Sayori mentioned, it's been winded so that there is one space next to Monica and one space next to Sayori. Natsuki and Yuri walk over to the corner of the room where Natsuki grabs a wrapped tray and Yuri opens the closet. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Sayori. Natsuki proudly marches back to the table, tray in hand. I'd also sell my soul for a cupcake. Yeah, cupcakes are delicious. Okay, are you ready? Ta-da! Whoa! Natsuki lifts the foil off the tray and reveals a dozen white fluffy cupcakes decorated to look like little cats. The whiskers are drawn with icing and little pieces of chocolate were used to make ears. So cute! I had no idea you were so good at baking, Natsuki. Well, you know. Just hurry and take one. Sayori grabs the first one, then Monica, I follow. It's delicious! Sayori talks with her mouth full and already managed to get icing on her face. I turn the cupcake around in my fingers looking for the best angle to take a bite. Natsuki is quiet. I can't help but notice her sneaking glances in my direction. Is she waiting for me to take a bite? I finally bite down. The icing is sweet and full of flavor. I wonder if she made it herself. This is really good. Thank you, Natsuki. Why are you thanking me? It's not like I hadn't heard somewhere before. Made them for you or anything. I thought you technically did, Sayori said. Well, maybe, but not for... You know, you dummy. Alright. I gave up on Natsuki's weird logic and dismissed the conversation. Yuri returns to the table carrying the tea set. She carefully places the teacup in front of each of us before sitting down, the teapot next to the cupcake tray. I'm glad you're enjoying this, Kitsune. I did this for you. You keep a whole tea set in the classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Insulted, Yuri looks away. I meant that, you know... I believe you. Well, tea and reading may not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. Monica raises an eyebrow, then smiles at me. What made you consider the literature club? I was afraid of this question. Something tells me I shouldn't tell Monica that I was practically dragged here by Sayori. Well, I haven't joined any clubs yet, and Sayori seemed really happy to be here, so... That's okay. Don't be embarrassed. You like how I'm using girl voices for the girls, and my voice for my character? Let me know if that gets annoying. This game is fucking adorable. I'm glad you're enjoying it. Well, make sure you feel right at home, okay? As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Monica, I'm surprised. How come you decided to start your own club? You could have probably be a board member for any type of major clubs. Weren't you a leader of the debate class last year? Well, you know, to be honest, I can't stand all the politics around these major clubs. That's like nothing but arguing about the budget and publicity and how to prepare for events. I'd much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. And if it encourages others to get literature, then I'm fulfilling the dream. Monica really is a great leader. Yuri nods in agreement. And I'm surprised that there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it comes to something that doesn't grab your attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. But it makes school events like the festival that much more important. I'm confident that we are all really ready to grow this club before we graduate. Right, everyone? Yeah! We'll do our best. You know it! Everyone enthusiastically agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard just to find these three. Maybe that's why they were all so delighted by the idea of a new member joining. Though I don't really know if I can keep up with the level of enthusiasm about literature. So Trey, what kind of things do you like to read? Well, considering how little I've read over the past few years, I really don't have a good way of answering that. Manga? I mutter quietly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. It looks like she was wanting to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that can change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorites are usually novels that build a deep and complex fantasy worlds. The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And telling a good story is such a foreign world and equally impressive. Sorry if I stumbled my words. I can't keep up with the text chat and read cohesively at the same time. I hope that doesn't bother you. Hey Envy, this is called Doki Doki Literature Club. I'm playing it for Kitsune. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in, but it's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. Well, Envy, it's an anime game, but it's also a horror game. This is all just a front. Trust me, okay? But I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can be so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror lately. I love horror books, by the way. I read horror books. I read a horror book once. I desperately grasp something that I can relate to at a minimum level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. Really? I wouldn't have expected that, Yuri. For someone as gentle as you. I guess you could say that. But if the story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. The real horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, even if only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Oh? Why's that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart over to me for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? What? What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind last club meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called Don't Say It Out Loud! And give it back. Fine. Your cupcakes, your poems, everything you do is just as cute as you are. Sayori slides behind Natsuki and puts her hands on her shoulders. I'm not cute! Natsuki, you write your own poems? Well, I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Ah, not a very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up yourself to your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. You ever write any... Yeah, sorry. You have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. Aw, I wanted to read everyone's poems. We all sit in silence for a moment. Okay, I have an idea, everyone. Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monika. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. And next time we meet, we'll all share them with each other. That way everyone is even. Yeah, let's do it. Plus, now that we have a new member, I think it helps us all to get a little more comfortable with each other and strengthen the bond of the club. Isn't that right, Trey? Monika smiles warmly at me. Once again. Hold on, there's still one problem. Huh? What's that? Now that we're back to the original topic of me joining this club, I bluntly come forth and what's been on my mind this entire time. I never said I would join this club. Sayori may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made up my decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lost my train of thought. All four girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought, Trey, you all defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when it's all like this? That is, if writing poems is the price I have to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right. Okay, I've decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes light up. Yes, I'm so happy. Sayori wraps her arms around me, jumping up and down. Hey. You really did scare me there for a moment. If you really just came here for cupcakes, I would have been super pissed. That makes it official. Welcome to the literature club. Thanks, I guess. Hey everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Everyone remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem and bring it to the next meeting so we can all share. Monika looks over at me once more. Trey, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monika with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, these girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri and Natsuki clean up their food. Hey Trey, since we're already here, you want to walk home together? That's right, Sayori and I never walk home together anymore because she's always stayed after school for clubs. Sure, might as well. Yay! God, it's a lot of reading. Holy shit. Yo, Terry, thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. Take a quick drink real quick. With that, the two of us depart the club room and make our way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between the four girls. Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monika. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in the literature club? Perhaps I'll have the chance to grow closer to one of these girls. Alright, I just need to make the most of my circumstances. I'm sure good fortune will find me. Lots of reading is good sometimes. I can't read it out loud for like 10 minutes without wanting to shoot. So, well. Just not very good at speaking. Trying my best, and I hope you guys are enjoying it. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. It's time to write a poem. Pick words you think your favorite club member will like. Something good might happen with whoever likes your poem the most. Okay. You love this? Okay, I'm glad, Kitsune. I'm really glad. Because I don't have a narrating voice. And I'm glad you're enjoying it. Alright, now I get to be me. Let's see. Fester. Vivacious, of course. Depression. Broken. Aura. Climax. Entropy. Vertigo. Suicide. Carnation, Wrath, Landscape, Meager. Horror. After Image, Rainbow, Infallible. That's me, Infallible. Melancholy, Family, Romance. I like romance. Pleasure, Graveyard. Adventure, Frightening, Ambient, Wonderful, Eternity, Heartbeat, Boot. Unending. Fireflies, Ribbon, Disarray, Jumpy. Disarray. Unrestrained, Extreme, Waterfall, Cheeks, Starscope, Puppy, Extreme. It's tragedy. Anxiety. Misfortune. Despise. Incongruent. Oh, I got an achievement. Doki Poetry Slam. But enough time during the poem minigame for a music to loop. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Death. Forgive her. Love. It appears Sayori and Yuri seem to like me. Hi again, Trey. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange for me, but at least I kept my word. Well, I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone else is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Trey. I hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into literature when you're not accustomed to it. Oh, come on! Like he deserves any slack. Sayori told me you didn't even want to join any clubs this year. And last year, too. I don't know if you plan to just come in here and hang out or what, but if you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. Natsuki, you clearly have a big mouth for someone who keeps her manga collection in the classroom. Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature! Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops back into her seat. Don't worry, guys. Trey always gives his best as long as he's having fun. That's true. That is me. As long as I'm having fun, I always give my best. He helps me with my busy work without me even asking. Like cooking, cleaning my room. How dependable. Sayori, that's because your room is always so messy it's distracting. And you almost set your house on fire once. Is that so? You two are really good friends, aren't you? I might be a little jealous. How come? You and Trey can become good friends too. Sayori? As usual, Sayori seems oblivious to the weird situation she just put me into. Oh, Yuri brought something today, you know? Brought you something today, you know. Wait, Sayori? Me? Not really. Don't be shy. It's really nothing. What is it? Never mind. They already made it sound like a big deal, so it's really not. What do I do? Oh, I'm sorry, Yuri. I wasn't thinking. I guess that means it's up to me to rescue the situation. Hey, don't worry about it. First of all, I wasn't expecting anything in the first place, so any nice gesture from you is a pleasant surprise. It'll make me happy no matter what. Is that so? Yeah, I won't make a big deal if you don't want me to. Want it to be. Alright. Well, here. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked out a book and I thought you might enjoy. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention even though you usually don't read. And we could, discuss it if you wanted. This is... How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book she feels like I like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. I enthusiastically take the book. Ew. Well, you can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club. That doesn't seem to be the case. Sayori and Monica are having a cheery conversation in the corner. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. Holy shit, this is a lot of reading. I should have known what I was getting myself into. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more. But at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from her reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry. I was just spacing out. I muttered this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed it in the first place. But I'm just here rereading a bit more of this, so... That's the book you gave me, right? Mm-hmm. I wanted to reread some of it. Not for any practical reason. Just curious, how come you have 2 copies of the same book? Well, when I stopped at the bookstore yesterday... that's not what I meant. I mean, I just happened to buy 2 of them. I see. There's something fairly obvious here that Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. I'm glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's it about, anyway? Well, Yuri closes the book and scans her eyes over the back. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Alright. I just wanted to make sure I don't accidentally give anything away. Basically, it's about this girl in high school who moves in with her long-lost younger sister. But as soon as she does so, her life gets really strange. She gets targeted by these people who escaped from a human experiment prison. And while her life is in danger, she needs to desperately choose who to trust. No matter what she does, she ends up destroying most of her relationship, and her life starts to fall apart. That's kind of dark, isn't it? Vera made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came from nowhere. Ahaha! Yuri gently giggles all of a sudden. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Trey? No, it's not that. I mean, I could definitely enjoy those kinds of stories, so don't worry. I hope so. Yeah, I totally forgot that Yuri is into these things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just that those kind of stories, they challenge you to look at from a different... Yeah. They challenge you to look at life from a strange, new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because they have their own goals, their own philosophy, and they believe in. And suddenly, when you thought you related to the protagonist, they made out to be naive for letting one-sided morals interfere with their villain's plans. I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again. I'm sorry. Hey, don't apologize. I haven't lost interest or anything. Well, I guess it's alright then. But I feel like I shouldn't let you know what I have. I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, I kind of forget to pay attention to other people. So I'm sorry if I end up saying something strange. And please stop me if I'm talking too much. I really don't think you need to worry. It just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's a literature club after all. Ah, that's true. In fact, might as well get started reading it, right? You don't have to. Haha, what are you saying? Just a moment ago you said you were looking forward to it. Let me just get the book. I quickly retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. Alright, it's fine if I stay here, right? I slipped into a seat next to Yuri's. Yeah. You sure? You seem a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's just something I'm not very used to. That is, reading in company with someone. I see. Well, just tell me if I end up distracting you or anything. Alright. I open the book and start the prologue. So you understand what Yuri means about reading in company. It's as if I could feel her presence over my shoulder as I read. It's not a particularly bad thing. Maybe a little distracting, but the feeling is somewhat comforting. Yuri is in the corner of my eye. I realize that she's not actually looking at her own book. I glance over. It looks like she's reading from my book instead. Sorry. I was just... Yuri, you really apologize a lot, don't you? I do? I don't really mean to. Sorry. I mean... Here. This should work, right? I slide my desk until it's up against Yuri's and then hold my book more between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we each lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Feels like my left arm is in the way, so instead I use my right arm to hold the book open. I guess that makes it kind of difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds the left side of the book between her thumb and her forefinger. I do the same with my right arm on the right side of the book. That way I turn a page and Yuri slides it under my thumb and flips to the other side. While holding it in like this, we're huddled even closer than before, together than before. It's actually kind of distracting me. It's as if I could feel the warmth of Yuri's face as she is in the corner of my vision. Are you ready? Huh? Turn the page. Sorry. I think I got a bit distracted for a second. I glance over at Yuri's face again, and our eyes meet. I don't know how I'll be able to keep up with her. It's okay. You're not used to reading, right? Don't mind being patient if it takes you a bit longer. It's probably the least I can do. Since you've been so patient with me. Yeah. Thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes the page before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning each page almost feels like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it under her own thumb. Hey Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you a little bit. You think so? How does she? Well, I guess she's more blunt in a lot of ways, but she always second guesses all of the things she says and does. Like she's afraid she'll do something wrong. It's not like I can see into your head or anything. They're kind of reminiscent of some of your mannerisms. I see. Yeah, I need another drink. Okay. What's up, Archie? Hey, Fallen. Thank you for the lurk. Oh, my throat is killing me. Yuri remained silent for a moment. But Trey, that's probably a terrible thing to have in common with her. That's so embarrassing that you think that. But wait, I didn't mean it in a bad way or anything. Sorry, I really didn't know you were self-conscious about that sort of thing. I guess I more meant that it's kind of cute, you know? What are you saying all of a sudden? Okay, everyone. Hi! It's about time we share our poems with each other. We might not have enough time if we wait too long. Yuri exhales, sparred from finishing her thought. I think it was spared, I'm not sure. Is that alright, Yuri? You look kinda down. I'm sorry if you haven't been looking forward to this. It's not. It's fine. Yuri releases her hand from the book, causing it to close on top of my thumb. Alright. I guess I'll do some more reading tonight. Or would you prefer if I read it with you? I guess I don't have too much of a preference either way. In that case, I'll read a little bit more tonight. It'll be a lot more fun to read with you after it picks up a little bit, you know? That's good reasoning. In that case, feel free to finish the first two chapters on in your own time. Alright. Yeah, I don't know, Envy. Gears is probably dead right now, but I'm not in the mood to play Gears anyway. I'm limiting myself to playing Gears because it causes me too much stress. I mean, this whole thing is different for me. I'm not used to playing games like this or reading a lot. I'm hoping everything is okay. Sorry if I'm stumbling over words or catching my breath and all that. But, like I said, I'm not used to reading. Anyway, continuing. I stand up. I make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. By the way, did you remember to write a poem last night? Yeah. My relaxation ends. I can't believe I agreed to do something so embarrassing. I couldn't really find much inspiration since I never really done this before. Exactly. You can ask Kitsune that this type of game ain't my area. It's all good. I just figured I'd play something different. Well, now that everyone's ready, why don't you find someone to share it with? I can't wait. Sayori and Monica enthusiastically pull out their poems. Sayori's is on a wrinkled sheet of loose leaf torn from a spiral notebook. On the other hand, Monica wrote hers in a composition notebook. I can already see Monica's pristine handwriting from where I sit. Natsuki and Yuri reluctantly comply as well, reaching into their bags. I do the same myself. Don't blame you, Gears is a little much sometimes. It is. Okay, Kitsune, I'm gonna let you pick. Whose poem should I read first? Should I do Sayori, Natsuki, Yuri, or Monica? Yuri, you got it. Yuri seems the most experienced, so I should start with her. I can trust her opinion, to be fair. As Yuri reads my poem, I notice her eyes lighten. Exceptional. Huh? What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but then ends up covering her whole face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Huh? I guess you're right. What am I getting so nervous for? Yuri just takes a breath. So, what kind of writing experience do you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicates that you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, that's a huge compliment coming from you. This is actually my first time, really. Yuri stares at me blankly, then looks at my poem again. Well, I know that. I just meant, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah, okay. This is the reason I was able to tell. Just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through that myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most noticeable thing I recognize in new writers is that they try to make their style very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick up a writing style separate from the topic matter, and they form-fit the two together. The end result is both the style and the expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, it's as if her demeanor totally changes. Her stammering is completely gone and she seems like an expert. Of course, that's not something you can be blamed for. There are so many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them in a building and building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but it comes with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I also hope that everyone else in the club gives you valuable feedback. Natsuki could be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. I shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry. It's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself or to me or to Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem now? Please do. I'd love to share my thought process behind it. Yuri smiles dreamily as if that's a rare opportunity for her, which itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Okay, it's cursive. I can't read that. I can try. Ghost under the light. Well, I'm just going to leave it here for a second so you can read it. I can't read that. Not just because it's in cursive, but because the text is so small. Just type in done whenever you're done reading, okay, guys? That text is bad. My eyes, mine too. Just say done whenever you're done reading. Done? Okay. I'm sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you so long time to read. I just don't read script very often. I actually think your handwriting is pretty. Huh? That's a relief. Also, I like the poem. Even though it's short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. I'm really glad you liked it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I wanted to write something a little more mild. Something easy to digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Huh? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Trey. Really? I must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you did only glance it over after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is only being symbolically compared to a ghost, lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, and soon left with nothing. That's a lot more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. That's impressive. It's nothing really. Yours was impressive too, so... Nah. If anything, I could probably learn a thing or two from you. You think so? Yeah, of course. I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna keep doing my best for you, Trey. Oh, that's sweet. That's really sweet. Me too. Okay, whose poem should I read next? I want to read Natsuki's, but I'm gonna leave it up to you, Kitsune. Natsuki? That's what I was thinking. Trey, if you're not going to take this club seriously, then go home. What? Harsh. What, you expect me to believe you actually put effort into this? You think I'm stupid? I'm not a writer. Maybe it's not very good, but yeah, I did put effort. I did put in effort. Well, I'll start somewhere, right? If you're still proud of the first poem you ever wrote, then I'd like to read it. Painful to think about? Fine. Well, sorry. You'll get better anyway. I tell you what to improve, but you're better off just trying again. Fair enough. Well, to each their own, I guess. Anyway, I gotta go share mine now. Knowing you'll probably think it's stupid. Okay, this one I can read. And the music changed. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Yeah? I told you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even take my writing seriously. But isn't the point of the poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yes, exactly. I like when it's easy to read but hits you hard. Like in this poem. Seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. Yeah, I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it puts more weight on the wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then made it fall flat on purpose. Helps bring out the feeling in the last line. So you did. I guess more went into that than I realized. That's what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Good didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. Decided to humor her with that last comment. I don't really care how everyone else is, how old everyone is. But if Natsuki's feeling proud, then I won't take it away from her. Okay. I'm gonna go with Sayori. This is a good poem, Trey. Are you sure it's your first time? Of course. It's not that good. Am I the kind of guy who would be writing poems in his spare time? I guess you're right. That's why it impressed me. Well, to be honest, I was afraid that you wouldn't do it seriously. Or that you wouldn't write one at all. I'm really happy that you just wrote one. It just reminds me of how you were really a part of the club now. Not to mention the fact that I'm standing in front of you in the classroom. Well, of course. I'm not really into it yet, but that doesn't mean I'll break my promise. See? It's like I said before, Trey. Deep down, you're not selfish at all, you know? Trying new things like this for other people, that's something that only really good people do. Thanks, Sayori. I like this game. So far. I'm not sure if Sayori sees the full picture of my motive here. Then again, I can't deny that she's part of the reason I joined. Knowing how much this means to her and all. Yeah, and I'm gonna make sure you have lots of fun here, okay? That will be my way of thanking you. Alright, I'm gonna hold you to that then. Yay! This game I'm definitely buying next time I get money. Yeah, it's pretty cheap. I got it for like $4.99 or something like that. Now you'll read my poem too, right? Don't worry, I'm really bad at this. We'll see about that. Okay, I can read this one. Dear sunshine, the way you glow through my blinds in the morning, it makes me feel like you missed me, kissing my forehead to help me out of bed, making me rub the sleepy from my eyes. Are you asking me to come out to play? Are you trusting me to wish away a rainy day? I look above, the sky is blue. It's a secret, but I trust you too. If it wasn't for you, I could sleep forever, but I'm not mad. Sayori, this is just a guess, but did you wait until this morning to write this? No. Just a little bit. You can't answer just a little bit to a yes or no question. I forgot to do it last night. Well, at least it makes me feel a little better about myself. Don't be mean. I still tried my best. Yeah. I didn't mean to say it was a bad poem. It came out nice, or how should I put it? It sounds just like you. Really? Yeah. Especially that last line. I made eggs and toast, even though you were late to school. It's bad to skip breakfast. I get all cranky. Well, I guess there's no point in arguing. Anyway, thanks for showing me. This was so much fun. Monica's the best. Yeah. The next time I won't forget. And I'm gonna write the best poem ever. Well, I guess I look forward to it. I guess the last one is Monica. Hi, Trey. Having a good time so far? Yeah. Good. Glad to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring up things, okay? Bring things up, okay? Alright, I'll keep that in mind. Of course, I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm much better off going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Trey. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's that sort of barrier that we all learn to get past soon. Yeah, that's true. A harmonica in my poem. Mm-hmm. Great job, Trey. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. I guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way it always counts when I put some effort. That's not very fair. Well, I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing, right? Writing that's full of imagery and symbolism. Unlike Sayori, who likes using simple and direct words to describe happiness and sadness, Yuri likes it when readers are left to derive their own meaning out of it. It's very challenging to write like that effectively, both allowing people to get something out of it just by feel, or letting them deeply analyze all of the nuances. It could take years of practice, which I'm assuming Yuri has it at this point. I never really asked, though. I'm sure I'm nowhere near her level yet. Don't worry so much about that. You do your own thing. Keep exploring and trying new things. I'm sure I'll end up trying different things a lot. It could take a while before I feel comfortable doing this. It's okay. I'd love to see you try new things. That's the best way to find the kind of style that suits you. Everyone else might be a little bit biased towards their own kinds of styles, but I'll always help find what suits you the most. But don't force yourself to write the way everyone else wants you to write. It's not like you have to worry about impressing them or anything. Anyway, you want to read my poem now? Don't worry, I'm not very good. You sound pretty confident for someone who claims to not be very good. That's just because I have to sound confident. Doesn't mean I always feel the same way, that way, you know. Let's see. Well, let's read it then. Okay, I can try to read this one. My eyes are killing me. Hole in the wall. It couldn't have been me. See the direction the sparkle protrudes? I don't know if I can read this. A noisy neighbor, an angry boyfriend. I'll never know I wasn't home. I peer inside for a clue. No, I can't see. I reel blind like a film left on the sun, out in the sun. But it's too late. My retina's already scorched with a permanent copy of meaningless image. It's just a little hole. It wasn't too bright. It was too deep. Stretching forever into everything. A hole of infinite choices. I realize now that I wasn't looking in. I was looking out. Huh. Okay. So, what did you think? It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. Haha, it's okay. Yeah, that kind of style has gotten pretty popular nowadays. That is, a lot of poems have been putting emphasis on the timing between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What was the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say that I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. Kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Maka's writing tip of the day. Sometimes when you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Another way to think about it is this. If you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, it'll just get a big dark puddle of ink. So just move your hand and go with the flow. That's my advice for the day. Thanks for listening. Phew. Guess that's everyone. I glance around the room. It was a little more stressful than I anticipated, as if everyone is judging me for mediocre writing abilities. Even if they're just being nice, there's no way poems can stand up to theirs. My poems. This is a literature club after all. I sigh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Sayori and Monica are happily chatting. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, sharing their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch each of their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Huh? Did you say something? Oh, it's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to the desk with one hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks. Yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism or something? It's clearly about the feeling of giving up. How can that be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I was trying to say something nice. Yeah? You mean you have to try hard to come up with something nice to say? Thanks, but it really didn't come off as nice at all. I do have a couple of suggestions. If I was looking for suggestions, I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Sayori liked it. Trey did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me. I appreciate the offer, but I spent a long time establishing my writing style. I don't expect to change anytime soon unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring. Which I haven't yet. And Trey liked my poem too, you know. He even told me he was impressed by it. Uh-oh, the music stopped. Natsuki suddenly stands up. Oh? I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. Eh? That's not what I... You're just... Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Trey appreciates my advice more than he appreciated yours. And how do you know that he didn't appreciate my advice more? Are you so full of yourself? Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I wouldn't deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Is everything okay? Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Trey started showing up. Oh shit. Natsuki? Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. I don't like fighting guys. Suddenly both girls turned towards me, as if they just noticed I was standing there. Trey, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. If she could get over herself and learn to appreciate that simple writing is more effective, then this wouldn't have happened in the first place. What's the point of making your poems all convoluted for no reason? The meaning should jump out at the reader and not force them to have to figure it out. Help me explain it to her, Trey. Wait. There's a reason we have so many deep and expressive words in our language. It's the only way to convey complex feelings and meaning in the most effectively. Avoiding them is not only unnecessarily limiting yourself, it's also a waste. You understand that, right, Trey? Well? How did I get dragged into this in the first place? It's not like I know anything about writing. But whoever I agree with will probably think more highly of me. Oh, shit. Alright, Terry, much love. Thanks for lurking. Oh, fuck. What do I do here? Should I side with Yuri or Natsuki? Or go help me, Sayori? What do I do, Kitsune? Help me, Sayori. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Natsuki glares at me, drying up any words I had in my mouth. So I said, I turned to Yuri. Yuri? But Yuri's expression is so defenseless that I can't bring myself to say anything to her. Sayori! Eh? Yeah? Everyone's fighting is making Sayori uncomfortable. How can the two of you keep fighting when you know you're making your friend feel like this? Hey, well, that's her problem. This isn't about her. I agree. It's unfair for others to interject their own feelings into our conflict. And unless Sayori wants to tell Yuri what a stuck-up jerk she's being. She would never. It's your immaturity that made her upset in the first place. Excuse me? Are you listening to yourself? This is exactly why nobody likes... Stop. Natsuki. Yuri. You guys are my friends. I just want everyone to get along and be happy. My friends are wonderful people. And I love them because of their differences. Natsuki's poems, they're amazing because they give you so many feelings with just a few words. And Yuri's poems are amazing because they paint beautiful pictures in your head. Everyone's so talented. So why are we fighting? Because, well, also, Natsuki's cute and there's nothing wrong with that. And Yuri's boobs are the same size as they always were. Big and beautiful. That's right. Oh man. Sayori. Sayori stands triumphantly. Monica stands behind her with a bewildered expression. I'll make some tea. Yuri rushes off. Natsuki sits down with a blank expression on her face, staring at nothing. So this is why Sayori is vice president. I whisper to Monica. She nods in return. To be honest, I might come off as a good leader and I can organize things, but I'm not very good at people. I couldn't even bring myself to interject. As president, that's kind of embarrassing for me. Nah. It's not like I can blame you. I wasn't able to say anything either. Well, I guess that just means Sayori is amazing in her own way, isn't she? You could say that. She might be an airhead, but sometimes it's weirdly suspicious that she knows exactly what she's doing. See, take good care of her, okay? I hate to see her feelings get herself hurt. That makes two of us. You can count on me. Monica smiles sweetly at me, causing my stomach to knot. Such a genuine person does make a good president, regardless of what she says. If only I could get a chance to talk to her a little more. Hey everyone, about time for us to leave. How'd you all feel about sharing poems? It was a lot of fun. I'd say it was worth it. It was alright, well, mostly. Hey, how about you? Yeah, I'd say the same. It was a neat thing to talk about with everyone. Awesome. In that case, we'll do the same thing tomorrow. Maybe you learn something from your friends too. So your poems will turn out even better. Think to myself, I did learn a little bit more about the kinds of poems everyone likes. With any luck, that means I can at least do a better job impressing those I want to impress. I nod to myself in newfound determination. Great. Ready to walk home? Sure, let's go. Sayori beams at me. It truly has been a while since Sayori and I have really spent this much time together. Can't really say I'm not enjoying it either. Okay, I have to save. Okay. My throat's killing me. I've been reading this for a while now. I'm gonna have to call it apart. Kitsune, I hope you like this. Everybody else, I hope you like watching this and listening to this. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for typing in the chat and commenting. I appreciate everything. This game is good. I'm glad you think so, Kitsune. I'll definitely do it again sometime soon. Much love to y'all. Everyone have a good night. Most of all, Take care.